So here's an update, or a semi-update if you will, to the very popular story which I covered yesterday, which was titled, "Am I the a-hole for divorcing my husband to pursue my dreams?" And if you guys recall, that is the story about the wife and mother who most certainly gets the a-hole of the year award because she ups and abandons her family, divorces her husband, or she's in the process of divorce, and leaves her kids so she can go out to Hollywood, essentially, and fulfill her dreams of becoming an actress. She was in high school and college, graduated in performing arts or some BS subject like that, married her husband, had 3 kids, and still expected to be able to regularly go to auditions and all that and be a successful actress when it doesn't work that way. And has blamed her husband for 20 years because he held her back. That's pretty much what she was saying, even though he was providing the whole time and taking care of all 3 kids. And now she's just doing this and blames everybody but herself and all that. And as an example how simply it was someone who should never gotten married. And let me tell you, she was just ripped apart in the comment section. Completely roasted. I didn't see one single person that agreed with her at all. And a perfect example of so many things I talk about. Now, what I'm covering here is she actually responded to a few comments. And it goes to show you that her responses, the updates, if you will, and her responses, she hasn't learned a damn thing. She is sticking to her guns. It's all about her. She's the victim. No accountability. No remorse for hurting her husband and her kids and all that. As well as some comments tearing her a new one. So, here's the first comment. This is from a woman that addresses her. The woman says to her, "There's too much to unpack here for Reddit. I recommend therapy. I think there was room for compromise here. Local commercials, community theater, teaching certification to teach drama. I do think you're risking your relationship with your 2 younger kids. Maybe making it big and having them cut you out of their lives is a price you are willing to pay. As a mother myself, no personal career success possibly would make me jeopardize my relationship with my kids." You're darn right. And she responds, "I really do not want to constrain myself to local theater. There's nothing glamorous about teaching drama, and there's a stereotype that all drama teachers are just failed actors that I don't want to bow to." Bow to, huh? "I want to pursue acting full time, not just play at acting in some local theater, but which people seem to want me to be happy with, but a part of something that could be on Netflix or Sundance, or perhaps even the big screen. I'm sick and tired of compromises." Just because in the previous story, you all recall, somebody said that she looks like Margot Robbie, which I don't believe for a second at 41 years old. Okay, you have blonde hair, so now you think you look like Margot Robbie. Then she all of a sudden thinks that she can be on Netflix or Sundance. And no, she didn't address at all what this woman said about her kids. Because she said that the kids don't want to live with her and are uncomfortable around her. She doesn't give a shit. Narcissistic a-hole. Another comment. This is from another woman who addresses her. The woman says, "I understand most of this, but not why you filed for divorce. You could have told him you took care of the kids for 20 years or so, and now it's your turn to live your life, and you will do it with or without his support. I think the divorce was unnecessary. You should have tried to make it work without it. This will alienate the younger kids." She also says, "I misread a part where you stated he does not have you run general expenses by you. You said you'd hear about it if you booked a flight. Of course, such an expense should be decided by both partners." Right. In other words, she has to check with him about spending money. Big ticket items. And that's reasonable. Also, you think you're the main character in your daughter's life. You're the a-hole. You abandoned 2 of your kids. They'll need therapy all their life to get over it. And her response, again, no accountability, she says, "I'm done with all the just make it work comments. That has been made to me since I was 24 years old. This is the last of my youth." The last of your youth. You're 41 years old. Your youth waved bye-bye to you a long time ago, honey. "And when you're in a marriage, the other spouse has to generally agree with your purchases. No, my soon-to-be ex-husband doesn't make me run general credit card purchases by him, but if I were to say to book a flight or decide to get expensive headshots, then I'd be hearing his opinions on it." Yeah, because your husband pays all the bills and you have 3 kids to support. And you're living in California, which is an expensive place to live. One of the most expensive places in the US of A. And so a flight or headshots and stuff like that for this career is going to be very expensive and cut into money he's bringing home for the family. So of course you have to run that by him. That's how marriage works. Anybody married knows that. She goes on. So it's better that I just divorce my husband, since he's just going to fight with me if I start booking flights to LA, New York City, and Atlanta all the time. Now that our finances are separate for the first time since I was 24, I can finally decide what to do and what to spend my money on without having anybody else's input ever. You borrowed money off your credit card to get an apartment in Los Angeles, and you have no guarantee of money coming in, and you have your 16-year-old daughter with you. You're not going to have any money for booking flights or anything like that, because you're going to be living in a cardboard box in Santa Monica because you can't afford it because you have no money coming in. She also says, for people who have not been in a marriage for so long, you don't understand the freedom that comes with it. It is the reason so many of my divorced friends, both men and women, say they will never want to share a household with any romantic partner ever again. So again, she does not address the fact about her kids, the two younger kids that she's abandoned. She doesn't give a shit. And she said her friends that are divorced, ding, 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 male and female, they're in the same situation. Well, they can all get together and make a giant cardboard box on the streets of Santa Monica or Los Angeles, wherever they're going to live, because good luck you need a steady flow of income to take care of your rent or mortgage and all the other expenses that come along with it, and supporting a 16-year-old daughter. But good luck there. So again, no, not all addressing the kid. Her head is that far up her ass, and she's that selfish. And I addressed in the video, I'm all cool with somebody having dreams and goals and ambitions. That's awesome. I completely support that. But you have responsibilities. And when she chose to get married at 25 years old, she chose to have multiple kids, okay? If one was an accident, she could have had her tubes tied, or he could have had a vasectomy, no more kids. No, she made that decision. And it's not the kid's fault. It's not the husband's fault. It is her fault. And her doing this, giant a-hole. And I told you, one day she's going to be begging him to take her back. Now, a few more comments from other people. She's done with her responses. One guy says, you're being selfish in my opinion. You talk as though your husband is the main character, which is ironic considering the fact that an informal compliment to Margot Robbie has made you so confident you think you're all of a sudden get a break at 41 years old. This sounds like a midlife crisis, to be honest. The reality is this guy worked all this time to support you and the kids for you to up and abandon everyone, including your kids, on a lark. What did he do to you? Generally curious as to why he or the young kids deserve to suffer for you to pursue your dreams. As a parent, your dreams come second. You chose to have them, now you have to make sacrifices for them. Sorry to not comfort you here, but either I'm missing something or you're monstrously callous. Exactly. And again, she could wait until the younger kids are out of high school, out of the house, and then she could do this. That'd be okay, in my opinion. There'd be room for compromise. And she would say, well, I may be in my late 40s by then. Guess what? There are actors and actresses that didn't hit their prime until they were 40s, 50s, 60s. Seriously. Now the guy says here, you left your family because one person maybe thinks you look like Margot Robbie and probably exaggerated. Jesus Christ, these poor kids. Now the guy says here, you're the a-hole. This sounds like the plot to a bad reality show about a narcissist and her daughter. You left a lot of details out in between the I was being unhappy stay-at-home mom, and so I divorced my husband and moved to LA with my oldest daughter. You had a dream, then you had kids. Now you're showing your kids that the dream matters more to you than them. Are you really surprised they don't want to spend time with you? She doesn't give a shit. That's what a lot of the commenters are obviously missing, because two different people addressed the kid factor, and she was going on everything else. Me, I'm the victim. Last one, guy says here, you're the a-hole. You are blaming the wrong person. You blame your husband for holding you back from auditions. The family can't afford a nanny. He can't leave work to watch the kids. Blame yourself. You wanted to be an actress and knew perfectly well that was involved. Auditions, acting classes, agents, networking, knocking on doors, a constant presence, living in New York or Los Angeles full time. But you chose to marry and you chose to have children instead. All right. This is entirely on you. He and your kids have the right to expect you to be a wife and mother because that's what you chose and signed up to do. freaking met. The whole comment section is full of people saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. She doesn't give a shit. So, we shall see what happens. I don't think she's going to post an update because her update will probably be her panhandling in the streets of Los Angeles or something, and having to go back to her husband hat in hand. So we probably won't hear from her. But if we do, if there's an official update from her, I will most certainly comment it, because this is definitely one I want to see how it plays out. But again, guys, remember, if you relationship guys, really get to know your girl before you get married. And she's someone that really has these big dreams and aspirations that will make it difficult to be a mother and all that. And you can see there could be resentment, harboring. If she doesn't get to do that, she's not going to be the ideal wife and marriage material. She's not going to be happy with the family that you want to have with her. So it's very important you have people that you understand really who they are and all that before you ever get hitched.